With the rim nailed off, time to scatter the joists. Start on one side and lay down a joist every 16 inches. Once you get a few joists down, then you have a safe walkway to carry the rest. Now we've got the joists scattered on one side, but they're long, so we mark them quickly with a framing square, cutting off the ends for blocks. These go between the joists. It's easier to work here in the middle of the building and cut these joists to length before we scatter all the rest of the joists on the other side. Once we get the joists cut to length on the far side, then we can scatter those that go here on this side. I push them up tight against the rim, cut off the excess by eye. Just make sure that your joists lap at least 4 inches. Okay, it's time to nail them in place. We roll them up on edge. Then we plumb them by eye on their layout marks. And then we nail through the rim right into the joists with 2 16-penny nails. And that's the code requirement. So we're rolling joists. That is, we're setting them up on edge and nailing them in place. Now, frequently, joists will have a bow in them. A crown is a bow. Common practice is to put that bow up. Then the weight of the building has a tendency to push it down straight. But in a building like we have here, we have girders every 6 feet. So crowning joists is not all that important. They're going to be straight once they're rolled. But if you do need to crown them, just sight down it and you can see the bow. As you nail, try and set up a rhythm. You can set a 16 with 1 lick or with 5, but it really doesn't matter. What matters is that you establish a pace that works for you, going easily from one nail right on to the next. Joists have to be secured not only to the rim, but also to the sill. 1 16-penny toenail on each side. Here on the other side, we're pulling our joists back so we can nail the rim on. We waited to nail this rim to show you how we do it when we're working on a second floor. Up high, it's safer to first scatter your joists and then use them as a walkway. Because we're at ground level, we can nail this one off just like the other one. Our building is 48 feet long and we need several pieces of rim, so we just butt the pieces together. Now it's just a matter of nailing the rim to the sill all the way around the building. Well, now I'm laying out the opposite rim. It gets laid out on 16-inch centers the same as the other side, but there is one difference. The joists here fall to the other side of the layout line. There's more on this later. Joe and I work together as a team, rolling, nailing off these joists. Joe nails out at the rim, and I'm nailing here at the center. The joists lap here over a girder. I nail the laps together, and then I put a block in between each pair, holding the block flush to one edge of the girder. It's important that these blocks are cut accurately because we don't lay out the center. We depend on the length of the blocks to keep our spacing just right. Hold on a second, Joe. I want to check our layout, seeing that we're running 4-foot-on centers. Yeah, it looks real good. Our blocks are the right length. Here in the middle, I nail in 2 16s through the joist into the block. Then lap the joists. The code calls for 2 more 16-penny nails here, plus a toenail down into the girder. Then another block. Lots of nails here. Away, nail. Here we're straightening the joist by eye before nailing them to the intermediate girders.
Okay.
Okay, away from you, about 1.5 feet. It got the crookedest joist in the city. Back to you now. Back to you. Nail that. All right, looking good. Way here. Nail that. Okay. Joe and I have been up on that main floor working, but now I wanted to come down on this model floor and show you a little bit more about layout and about how we nailed it all together. You'll notice that on each rim joist, we have a layout at 16 inches on center. The only difference is, here, the joist goes on this side. Over here, it's nailed to the opposite side of the layout. This allows these two joists to lap here in the center. Then, with a 13-inch block nailed in, we maintain our 16 inches on center. The block gets nailed in with 2 nails on this end and 2 nails in through that joist into the end of the block. Here at the lap, we nail this lap together with 2 16-penny nails. Then down into the girder, you get a toenail down on this side and another 16-penny toenail down through this side. And that's what happens at every girder. We get a toenail here and a toenail here, and at every cell the same. A floor nailed together like this one meets the building code requirements and gives you a good solid base on which to build your home. Now we've got all of our regular floor joists run in, 16 inches on center, but we need a few more to support the interior walls which run parallel to the joists.
Coming back 2/6.
Joe's finding the location of these walls on the plans and marking their center lines on the rim.
Going forward 4/3.
Now the actual joist will set 2 inches to one side of the center line. This will leave room for any pipes or conduit coming into the walls from below.
I'm done.
Then Joe feeds me these doubles and I cut them to length by eye, sighting down the block as a guide. Since we nailed the blocking flush with the edge of the girder, these doubles have 2 inches of bearing. When the double comes in from the other side, cut a notch in the block so the double can bear right on the girder. But only cut deep enough to remove the notch. We don't want to weaken that girder. That's that one. This is an access hole for the crawl space, and I have to double up the rim here to support any load from above.